Welcome to our podcast where we explore the exciting world of studying abroad. And today we will dive into the experiences, the challenges, and incredible opportunities that comes with immersing yourself in a new environment, culture, and educational system. Join us as we chat with these lovely students here. They have already explored their opportunities here in Australia. And let's hear their stories and also their unique perspectives. Let's welcome here Torrens from the Diploma of Nursing, and of course Rachel from the Masters of Public Health, and it's double Masters, right?
Yeah, I'm doing
Masters
double.
of Business Administration at the same time. It's nice to see you guys today, and let's talk about, a lot of people out there who wants to come to Australia and study here, right? What are the key benefits of that you can gain from studying abroad?
So for me personally, I always wanted to go out of my country and study. Reason being that I wanted that international exposure, because I was in a university back home for some time and I was studying there, but I was feeling like, it's kind of not similar, but it's like my high school. I want something different. I want to experience something different, meet new people. And when I came to Australia, Melbourne, I had people from more than 10 countries in my class. I met them, I got to know people from different countries, different continents and everything, I personally never experienced so much in my life. Like, I never tried any international foods, I never heard most of the languages that I got to know about, and I never would have worked like a little bit in my, while I'm studying, that I do in my internships or when my clinicals are here, I go out, I work with different organizations, I get to know different people, that's great.
That's exciting. I feel the excitement here from Torrens, especially you're doing nursing, right?
Yes.
And you'll have more opportunities as well during your placement and meet new people.
Definitely.
And of course, all these different food festivals here in Melbourne at the same time, especially
That's
here
amazing.
in Melbourne. So thank you, Torrens. How about you, Rachel? What are the key benefits that you can gain from studying abroad?
Studying abroad has many benefits. By conquering challenges in a new environment, gives us resilience and boosting our self-confidence.
As well. That's really good. And especially, it's an opportunity for you to indulge with the new environment, getting to know the different cultures, especially Australia is multi-diversified, right?
Definitely.
You learn so much, broad understanding of how people, carry their own beliefs and practices at the same time, and not just that, the food festivals.
You go out in Melbourne and you see so many things happening, so many movements happening, people trying to make change. Yeah. It's so inspiring. If I was living in a small town as I was never aware of these things. Now when you get to know about them, you're like, okay, this is also happening in this world. I need to know about it. And that's when you take a step to change something.
Definitely. A good point. Thank you so much for that. And how about talking about, again, studying abroad, how can this enhance your career and academic prospect?
So what I believe is education system in my country, I'm from India, education is from my country, people know about it. We have given people this world some of best IT people, some of best management people. Yeah. But along with that, what I felt like after studying for a semester in India in a university and then coming here, these studies are different in terms of research. They try to give you that research approach from day one. So what I mean by that is you are given a topic, you are given a scenario, and you go out, explore, and write about it, read about it, gather some information, and you assessed on basis of that, okay. Which is great, I believe, instead of just sitting in exam and pouring all out what you have learned in the last 3 months and writing for 3 hours. I feel this system is way better in terms of research as compared to that thing.
Oh, okay. So just to clarify, the system here that you're doing right now in Australia, especially
definitely.
Here at the school, Torrens University,
Yep.
compared to the previous experience that you had way back home. That's good to know. So there is really a total improvement of your career path at the same time, right?
Yeah, definitely. What I have seen is like when people from these universities, like these good universities in Melbourne and even Torrens University, when you go out and look for a job, look for an employer, they acknowledge that you have studied in this university. That's it's a plus point as compared to if you're trying to secure a job from out of the country from some other institution, because they know if the student is getting out of a university like Torrens or any other universities in Australia which are renowned, they know they have gone through some certain process which will make them good enough employees as well.
Within that scope of practice
Within
and
that,
standards of
definitely,
a specific school.
Yeah.
Especially here in Australia, they've got good standards. Thank you so much for that, Ranjan. How about you, Rachel? What's your point of view about that? What can you actually gain from, how can it enhance your academic and career prospect and studying abroad?
Studying abroad provides access to a wide range of opportunities such as research and internships, and help us to gain new perspective in our field of study. In today's market, multilingual speakers are in demand.
Definitely, yes. And it's really a good edge for you guys when you go. I'm not saying that your country of origin cannot give the best that they can give for your career and even academic, but in here you're trying to enhance what you have already learned from your country of origin, which is really good. You don't really stop learning and improving yourself, which is really a good attitude. Thank you so much for that. Now, talking once again about coming to Australia, especially studying here, Torrens University, So in general, what are those some important factors that you need to consider before studying abroad? Maybe you can start with Rachel.
I think we should consider financial, because studying in a foreign country can be very tricky and it's very expensive. We need to consider the housing and what do you call it? The rent, living expenses, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it's not easy to become a international student, right?
Yeah.
Coming here from, especially different currency at the same time. So yes, good financial situation. Can you afford to live and stay here, for 2 or 3 years, whatever is your course? Yours 3 years, right? And for
2 years.
2 years is yours is 2 years, and yours as well is 2 years, right? So you need to really live with that expectation of the government that you have that financial capabilities, living expenses. How about you, Taranjot? What's your view about that? What are the important factors to consider before coming?
Factors that I considered before choosing my university and city to live in while I'm studying was weather was first for me. I was planning to go to some American colleges before this, but even Canadian universities. But I feel it might be a bit too harsh for me. But as if I compare Melbourne's weather to my hometown's weather, it was very comfortable. So it's like while you're choosing your university, you have different options. You have so many cities to choose from, especially with the Torrens. They have this amazing thing. If you're studying in Melbourne, and if you feel like you want to explore Australia more, and they have it on their website as well. If you look into it, you can do your different trimesters or your semesters in different cities, which gives you even more exposure. So if I'm studying in Melbourne right now, if I feel like Perth would be more beneficial for my my field of study or my field of experience, I can go to Perth for 1 semester, study there, have that experience, move to another city or move back here. So that's so flexible without changing your institution, your course, anything. You just give them a request and most of the cases they accept it, and you have that different opportunities to live in different cities. Apart from that, as she said, cost of living to cost of your studies, you need to plan that out way ahead before you plan anything else. Once you're here, you need to live comfortably to perform good in your studies. If you are living miserably in a place, you cannot perform in studies at all, no matter what it is. That's what I feel like. So these things need to be planned ahead. What's going to be the cost? How are we going to manage it? There are a lot of students having student loans. How are we going to manage those student loans with their banks and whatever organization they're coming with? Apart from that, once you have finished your studies, what's the outcome of your study? If you're finishing your bachelor's, if you're finishing your master's, how much opportunities you are getting after that? What kind of jobs you'll be offered from, from this country, from this city where you're going? So I have heard people coming here for, mining engineering and all of that. That's on boom because Australia, mining is everything here, But if you do that in some Asian country or something, a lot of them do not have those prospectus for those students. If I compare about myself, Australia has best healthcare system in the world, right? And M&S. So this healthcare system gives me enough information and an idea of how an healthcare system should be. And I go back to countries which need it, or my home country, and I then try to improve that because I know how to do it.
Yeah, you can apply
your you can apply, yes,
to practice.
Definitely. What I have seen
Going
here,
back there,
practices that I've seen here, how we approach fundings to everything for healthcare,
That's really
I
That's
agree
amazing.
with him because we need to consider if it's really academic fit with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And basing on the academic sort of like choosing the whatever course you're going to take, how did you do that? Did you actually research on this?
Yes. So for me, while I was studying in my high school, I had biology as my majors. So I knew that I'm going to be studying something related to healthcare for my university. So then, when I was looking for opportunities in here, I found nursing, which gives me enough opportunities to work.
That's good.
Also, it's not a very long course. It was just my personal preference. I didn't want to study in university for 4 or 5 years for my first degree. So I wanted to finish my first course and then see if it fits for me or not. So that's
Testing
how,
the waters,
yeah.
right?
So that's how I approached it. So once I get out of this, then I see what are options for me now. So you gotta consider your university, your high school credentials. That what universities will accept you with those credentials.
Yes.
And I'll make another point here. A lot of Australian universities, including Torrens, offer big scholarships on based off your high school credentials.
Wow.
So I have met people who are not paying half of what others are paying or even less because they scored pretty good in their high school or their English proficiency test. So be careful about that. Put some extra effort in that. And it's always going to be worth it. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's always going to help you throughout your university.
Yes.
So
That's good to know. Good points that I have learned from you guys. Again, it's not easy to come to a foreign country. You need to be financially stable, and that includes you need to make sure that you can afford your tuition fees, the initial down payment, right? This is what I've gathered during our conversation. And also, apart from that, the tuition fees, also the rent, of course. If you don't have families here, you need to rent a place. It could be a room to share. And even if you have families here, obviously, you're already adult, you want to be independent. That's why you're in a different country to be independent. So you have to also look at your financial situation when it comes to being independent and rent a room or a house to live in. And also, of course, the airfare isn't it, right? The airfare is part of your planning of that factors. Can you afford to fly to Australia or anywhere in the world?
Exactly, exactly.
And again, the whole living expenses while studying for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. You make sure you have to consider all these things. And another thing that you have mentioned about is number 5 is all about look after your grades, or maybe you work smarter for studying, whether high school or whatever courses that they've done in your country of origin, because they can get a scholarship. Is that what you've mentioned? And that's really good to know for those people who are thinking of coming abroad and study, especially at Torrens University, right? So we will look after them. Now, thank you so much for sharing those, important facts at the same time. Now, how this studying abroad could contribute to your personal development as well as the cultural understanding?
So when I came here, I always thought in terms of my neighbors, people from my city, my family. I was a part of joint family and I had all the relatives around me. I believe while I was living there, I was in that bubble of some specific people who I could think around that how I need to do this, what are they gonna think. Sometimes like there are all those factors, you know, if we talk about it. But once you come out here, you start learning new cultures. Then you realize that I'm this small, this world is so big. In your family, because like if you, when you think about it, it's you and your parents, right? Or if you're in a joint family, you and your other family members. In your village, people know you, most of people know you. In your city, some people know you. But when you come out of Melbourne and see this whole country and see all of these people, they don't know you. So you realize that's how life is. You can do whatever you want, and if you're working towards something big, that's how people should be knowing you. You gotta work on yourself, you know. So that gave me a spark to do better in my life. So you know, I wanted to be in those people who are known around me, and apart from that, culturally, I have learned so much. You know, when you move countries, especially, you are introduced to so much information regarding how people dress up, how people eat, how people drink, what are their religions, what they think in their religions, what are their practices, and you get that choice to pick up specific practices, you know, to learn specific practices, whether it's around eating or like living in a specific way or dressing up in a specific way. Especially Melbourne, people who like fashion, Melbourne is like a great place to, you know, be a fashion enthusiast. You walk around and see people like wearing such an amazing level of outfits and all of that. You learn a lot. You learn in every aspect of your life, personally. That's what I believe.
Beautiful. Good to know
I
that,
agree
you
with
know,
him.
improving yourself.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree with him. This exposure will help students develop cultural sensitivity and appreciate diversity while studying here. These connections can be valuable for future collaborations, career opportunities, and broader understanding of global issues.
That's really good. And that means like it improves your beliefs and your self-talk. Because, you know, if you're in your comfort zone, comfort country, you have your family with you and maybe they dictate as well what you need to do. But here being independent, you know exactly how to become more resilient, new perspective, unique perspective at the same time, and be able to learn so much from whatever the ups and downs, the challenges, the setbacks at the same time, and focus on your vision, which is really good. I'm so happy for you both, you know. Now, just a couple of things that I want to also ask you. Studying abroad, especially at Torrens University, what are those resources or maybe support systems that is available to all students who wants to, you know, study abroad, just like here at Torrens University?
Torrens University offers on-site orientation, and I really like the counseling and success coach. They give students like they answer like why you choose this course, and they empower students to be at the top.
That's good to know. So success coach, right? You keep in touch with the success coach.
Yeah,
very
I will.
Because it's not always like, but you don't keep in touch with them when you're down or sad. When you're really like, you know, in the hype of like, I want to do more. I want to be better. You know,
and
that's really good.
And I want that they give individualized plans with every student,
Definitely.
not in a whole.
Yes, and even group coaching, they do that as a success coach. So keep in touch with all the success coaches at Torrens University. That's good. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else that you want to add to that, Taranjot?
Yes, definitely.
About the resources and support system. That
I would
students-
say, like, you know, student mentorship to success coach, everything is just, everyone is just trying to get most out of us, you know, like trying to help us so we can learn the most, not just with academics, because we do academics 3 days a week or 4 days a week, but we have, you know, 3 other days. We, like, I always wanted to, you know, do something related to YouTube podcast, and that's why when you said that, I was like, okay, I'm in for that. So, you know, that's how Success Coach helps us.
Yes,
that things I would have never taken my first step for this thing, but we are here recording this. I might, you know, keep on going with this and do something good apart from academics. And with the academics, we have these our course coordinators and our teachers are really helpful. And like what I have seen in Torrens especially, like everybody is just trying to help you, not trying to push something on you. They're like, okay, if this went wrong, this is what we can do. Nobody's talking about, oh, you did this, so you take care of it. It's totally opposite. Okay, if this went wrong, this is how we can handle that.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love to hear that. It's really exciting to know that even though you're already on your first few months here
Yeah.
at this school, you feel like you belong because
Yes.
this is a community, right?
Definitely.
When you come into any sort of like levels here in this university, you feel like everyone is just very helpful.
Yeah.
Apart from your learning facilitator, you've got the student services and the counseling, the WIL, the academic support people, and of course the success coach that you have mentioned. Thank you so much for recognizing, all these resources apart from all the specific academics, and even like on Student Hub as well, right? You've got all the resources and Vigo at the same time for first year experience. So thank you, and I hope that you would, share this sort of like important sort of like ideas that, hey, you're not just studying, but you've got some support system here and, resources that you can tap into. Well done. One last question, okay? So can you share some tips or advice, especially those people who are watching right now who wanted to come to Australia and study? What are those tips that you want to give them?
So I would say, as I mentioned earlier, just be a bit prepared, a bit ahead when you are doing, like when you are toward end of your high school. Just be aware what are you going to do if you go to a specific country or to a specific university. Suppose if you're coming to Torrens University, go on their website, go through their criteria for different opportunities they have for you, So one thing is that, be prepared. Second thing, when you come here, choice of support system to choice of your friends, make it carefully, because when you come here, that's how you learn the culture. That's how, when I met my first Aussie friend, that was my first impression of Aussie culture. So you need to be careful about that, what kind of people you're choosing and how, because they're gonna help you with everything. If you have good friends, they're gonna tell you about everything from housing to part-time jobs, a little bit about whatever you want to do. So those are the main things. Yeah. Also, just focus on what you were here for, because after every few months you're gonna feel like, oh, I'm down. Is this worth it? We all get those questions. Is this worth it? I'm working hard so much. I'm paying so much. Is this worth it? Should I do this? Should I give up? Should I do that? But just remember why you chose to come here and why you thought like that.
Yes, it's true. That's why success coach are here as well, to help you become more empowered and think of our strategies that you can be more successful in your path as well. But having said that, it's just popped into my brain at this time. What are those challenges? Maybe share a bit of your challenges, or what are some common challenges that a student would encounter or might encounter in the future, and how to overcome them?
Yeah, I think the most importantly is homesickness, because I've been through homesickness as well. I went back to the Philippines last 2021 to ease my homesickness because I can't do it anymore. I think I will not go back here. I will not continue my studies, but here I am. I'm continuing my studies, and I think you should stay connected with your friends and engage to cultural activities and video calls with your mom and dad.
That's true.
Staying connected.
That's the beauty of this, the world has already shifted into an online opportunity, so you can not just call them, you can virtually see them and as if they're really close to you, which is really good. So networking, find friends here. Of course, you've got a job here because you're allowed to work 24 hours a week right now, right? So it's really good that you are doing that and helping yourself to mingle, and so that to prevent that homesickness. It's not easy to be in this country that you're not really used to, a new culture and a new environment. And again, it's an educational system at the same time. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Taranjot? What are experiences that you can share?
Definitely, homesickness was one
challenges.
of the things.
Yeah, homesickness.
Yeah, it was a thing for me as well. But as you said, we are allowed to work 20 to 24 hours a week. So when I started working a little bit, I started meeting people. I started having coffees with my people from my work. My manager would take me for a meal, or someone from university would offer me to come with me. And those are the low points where you feel like, I need some support. And you get support when you talk to people.
That's right.
If you are just quiet and you're just not telling anything to anybody and you're just in yourself, you are not going to get help, because that's not how it works. You need to tell people that I am in need. Especially in Australia, mental health is given so much of importance.
Definitely.
You can find help anywhere and everywhere. There are so many community groups and everything, you know. If you're from a specific ethnicity, you can find groups that can be a support system, you know. And some of the struggles are maybe public transport sometimes, because like with the weather, sometimes Melbourne is like, it's raining right now, half an hour, it's shine.
It could happen anywhere in
Yep.
the States, right? So
Yep.
there will be train interruption or something.
Yeah,
or
so like
disruptions.
you might struggle with navigating yourself with like these small things,
Yes.
where to buy groceries, where to where to catch this bus.
Those were the
These
challenges,
things come
right?
up, and then when you come here, you always like calculating it in your home country's currency. That's always a problem. Oh, I'm spending that much. But take care of yourself. You know, we all know that we have specific budget when we come here, but it's very important to take care of ourselves as well. So yeah, go out, meet people, enjoy these amazing events happening around you, and experience everything. But stay strong. You know, we all will get through this.
I love listening to your stories, you know, like and tips as well. That you know, you must be prepared of the financial situation coming here, obviously, you know, and I know, and the homesickness could be part of the challenges. And again, it's really important that you mingle and do some networking. No one can help you except you, and it's okay not to be okay, but you need to make sure that you reach out to the right people. And of course, Success Coach are here as well, right, to help you boost more your confidence level. So thank you so much for today, and I'm so happy that you know you're now amalgamating yourself into a new culture, career opportunities, and new educational system that could boost more your confidence, your self-esteem, and focus on your vision and your whys. And again, building that resilience and stay motivated. Have a great day and hope to see you again next time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And this is Lee, Karanchot, and of course, Rachel. Stay fast.